here picking some stuff and I realized I should probably show you guys my garden while I'm out here. So I walked up to the house to grab my phone and I figured, let me also show you these seedlings. I haven't showed you guys in a while, and you know I'm addicted to just sticking seeds in dirt, so here we are. I put some white pumpkins in here. They're just some seeds someone sent me, so thought I'd try them. I'm gonna plant those out there maybe this evening or tomorrow. Maybe I'll wait for that true leaf to come through. There's another tromboncino squash. I'm gonna put that on one of my arch trellises. I'll show you where in just a minute. But yeah, a lot of, I don't know if you guys have stuck around all this time, but I had tried to propagate a whole bunch of lavender cuttings and I thought they didn't make it, but they did. See, that's the original cutting I put in there and then it grew up. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I have a lot of tomatoes that I've started. And a lot of them have gotten very big and a lot of them need up potting. But I started them for my fall planting and some of them have just taken off. I've tried to stay on top of a fertilization routine with fish emulsion, so it's working for sure. So, you know, I might plant some of them out early just as an experiment. So we'll see, probably maybe next weekend. Well, I will see. I think in a perfect world, I shouldn't plant them out until July, but it's June now and I'm feeling frisky. So, anyway, my sweet potatoes are still growing in here, even though I planted them out already. So I don't know, maybe I'll just let them go and see what happens. Then I have some peppers I put in pots. That's a jalapeno and lute shower. I don't know. I think it's I can't remember. Maybe I think it's from Holland or Poland, one of those. Anyway, it's paprika pepper. But I also have one of each of these planted out in the garden as well. Anyway, and then of course I have my Meyer lemon. It's lemoning, so that's cool. Although the leaves are yellow and I can't seem to figure out what's wrong with it. I keep doing all the things the internet tells me should be done. I don't know. Anyway, all right, let's go out to the garden. We'll go to the garden. All right, so I like to do these videos on Saturday, but yesterday we had my son's birthday party and so it was a little busy. But here's my little flower bed here with some sunflowers, some zinnias, some dahlias, etc., etc. And things are finally starting to bloom. I learned they weren't getting hit by the sprinkler, so that's probably why they weren't growing very fast. So I started watering them. And guess what? If you water flowers, they grow. How weird. There's a lesson everywhere if you're looking. Check out all my weeds, though. Yeah, got lots of weeds going on. Check out this plum tree. Can we just admire her beauty for a moment? Yes, she is glorious. She blends in with the rest of the garden, but she's living her best life. And there's a bug living its best life. I don't know if it's a friend or foe, but anyway. My watermelon vines, do you see them sprawling all around from the plant right there? It's only got one watermelon on it that I'm aware of. That's actually been pollinated, but it's a glorious watermelon, isn't it? I sure think so. Tromboncino squash, that one I'm just gonna let it ripen up a little longer. I'm waiting till it turns as dark orange as I think it's gonna turn, so that way I can make sure that the seeds are gonna be good. And don't worry about these drooping leaves. They only droop whenever it's in the heat of the day, and it's, I don't know, maybe 1 o'clock right now, 12 o'clock, something like that. I finally have a bloom on my sunflower. Hello, sunflower friend. But yes, these are scarlet runner beans, I believe, or maybe, black coat scarlet runner beans. Anyway, I'm letting them go to seed. It was, my friend had sent me 2 seeds and I just want to see if I can get that to seed. So we really need to start eating some squash soon, huh? Don't you think? Yep, I do, I think. There's my jalapeno plant. I cut off a bunch of jalapenos to try to see if the plant would grow a little more, and it's grown, but anyway. These are cantaloupes, and this plant looks like it's really on its way out, doesn't it? Maybe the vine borers got it. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it and see what happens. I sprayed copper fungicide on everything because I thought maybe that was a lot of the problem. But I came through and pruned a lot of things, and I don't know. It's looking okay. There's a tromboncino squash and a tromboncino squash, and they've just sprawled all over the place. So yeah, anyway, ooh, hi bee, go on bee. Sometimes when I come out here, the bees like swarm me. They're like, this is mine. I think that's a carpenter bee there. He's like, I'm gonna make a home here. Don't those things look so gross and mean? They probably are, aren't they? Anyway, this vine here that's coming off, it put off a whole bunch of new growth, and I don't know if you can tell in this video, some of the leaves are like dark green and some of them are like yellowed. Anyway, it started giving off squash. I wonder if those were pollinated or not. Curious to know. So yeah, today's gonna be a little bit of a longer video. Last week was very short because I had my son with me. And really I haven't been out here a lot today. I came out to harvest a couple of things, and anyway, these banana plants are doing pretty good, aren't they? I expected them to be taller, so maybe they're not doing that good, but also my 4-year-old kicks them a lot, so that's probably hindering their development. These are landrace watermelons, okay? And what that means is somebody planted a bunch of different types of watermelon, which I have a list of the types, grew them under the conditions that they wanted, which means they didn't really irrigate them a lot, they didn't fertilize them a lot. Then the best fruits, they saved the seeds from those, planted them the next year, did it again, and then you end up with, you know, varieties of watermelon that are not exactly like the parent plant, but that are resilient. And it was done in my area. It was David the Good. You guys, I talk about him all the time because he's my favorite gardener, and I've taken a lot of information from him. And it was his son that did this. And I have one melon growing so far, but it looks really cute, doesn't it? Anyways, the plants are very healthy, lots of flowers. So there's 4 plants here growing around. So that's that. This is my sweet potatoes. These are my sweet potatoes. And they're starting to perk up, which happens when you plant sweet potato slips. They look like they're gonna die, and I'm always convinced they're going to die, but they grow. So here we are, they're growing. I don't think I lost any of the ones I planted actually, but some of the leaves look kind of gross. Maybe in another week or so I will prune the not good leaves off. But anyway, I had bought some muscadine vines from somebody on Facebook Marketplace, and that's a very long story because I'm fully aware now is not the time to plant muscadine vines. And again, it's a long story, but I did plant them, although I'm fairly certain they're not going to grow because what they sold me was not a good situation. But that's what these 4 things are. I don't expect them to grow. They're not going to, so we'll probably never talk about them again. This is my satsuma tree here that was given to me by a friend, and it looks pretty good, I think. Looks a lot better than whenever I planted it, so. The comfort is still holding on, aren't they? That's pretty cool because they're not exactly hot weather plants. So, you guys like my rinky-dink sprinkler stand here? It's pretty good. So, I need to come pick these tomatoes, and I might string these up actually. putting a little order to the chaos. What do you guys think? And there's a yellow zinnia, and you know, honestly, zinnias are my favorite flower, and I don't think I've ever seen a yellow one. Usually they're colorful, but yeah, it's pretty interesting. I don't know. Admire that for a moment. But there's a calendula living its best life, doing its calendula things. And these nasturtiums, maybe they don't like the heat, and I don't blame them. But these vines are also not looking so great. But then they'll shoot off new growth that look good. So I don't know what their deal is. I don't really know what to do. I did hit them with some of the copper fungicide because of all the spots on the leaves. So we'll see. Hopefully I can get some ripe fruits off of them because I'd really love to taste them. But yeah, these pole beans are doing pretty good, I believe. Got beans coming off of them, which is my very favorite thing. So yes, beans everywhere. And you know I love a good full trellis. Can't get enough of it. Guys, if I sound tired, it's because I am. We had a long day at my son's birthday party yesterday, but it was so much fun. So yeah, I've got tomatillos. You guys see? There's tomatillos coming on. Last year, my tomatillos were so small, but they were delicious. But I read that they're small because of pollination issues. And of course, this year, if I had pollination issues, that would be a very big shock because of how many tomatillo plants have popped up. Most of them volunteers. But yeah, so they already look bigger than they did last year, so that is very promising. And if you've never grown tomatillos before, maybe give it a shot because it's a lot of fun. The pests don't seem to bother it in my experience. And yeah, one plant just produces so many. Although they do need, you have to plant more than one tomatillo plant in order for them to properly pollinate. So you have no choice but to have too many. You have too many or none. That's it. But there's my ground cherry. And guys, I wanted to update you about the ground cherries because I've got a bunch of ripe ones here I need to come and grab actually. But we've been eating ground cherries. And let me tell you, the ones I was talking about before that I said did not taste sweet were not ripe, because now I've gotten a bunch of ripe ones and they are delicious. And it's a very unique flavor. I've never had a ground cherry before and they are delicious. So I think I'll be growing ground cherries forever now. Again, I probably won't have a choice because of the amount of volunteers I'm sure will come up, because you just can't pick them all. There's so many. Just like these Everglades tomatoes. You see all the red in here? Those are all tomatoes. That's what I was actually doing whenever I decided to grab my camera. I was picking some of these beans out of here, and I was picking these tomatoes. Although my son's probably going to be waking up any second now, so I'll probably have to go in. Oh, there's a ladybug. Hi, ladybug. Thank you. Thank you for being here, ladybug. Do you guys talk to your friends in the garden? No, just me? Okay. But look at these Mexican sunflowers. If you guys remember, I grew them from cuttings that I ordered on Etsy. I ordered a 4-pack and she sent me 5, which was very generous of her. And they all lived, which was really cool. So I've actually got one over there by the sweet potatoes, one here, and then, you know, one on every row. And they're all doing really well. So that's pretty exciting to me. I think I'm actually going to start chopping some of the leaves off, especially the ones that are like dying along the bottom, and putting them around some other plants. So yeah, anyway, here's what I've picked so far. Didn't get very far, did I? But yeah, what I like to do with bush beans is just cut the whole plant off whenever all the beans ripen. But I see some that are ripe and I just want to let them grow. So I did plant them very densely, so you know, I don't expect to get as much yield as I could off of them. But yeah, got a lot of tomatoes to pick. Sometimes I will, oh, get off of there, bug. Ah, did you guys see that bug? Man, so I'm 5'3", and this is my chest. And so this has to be about 5 feet tall, I guess. Isn't it beautiful? Oh man, something, I just said that the pest didn't like it, didn't I? That was a lie. The lie detector test determined that is a lie. They didn't bother them last year, but it's okay. I've got plenty to share, I guess. I'll let them have it. Hello, bee friend. Oh man, I'm just capturing all of God's miracles today, huh? Beautiful. Bees love tomatillo flowers. Anyway, I guess I could talk forever about tomatillos, couldn't I? Yeah, I really got to get back out here and pick some of these beans. And obviously these tomatoes. But yes, look how many flower buds I'm getting on these beautiful this is one marigold plant. Oh, I just love it. And there's one as well, but it's not as big. But I think a lot of them were planted at different times in the garden. But yes, oh, I'm just loving my garden. That is a okra plant that I'm not real sure is going to do anything. It didn't really like being transplanted. So that's a purple tomatillo I planted last week. Never had a purple tomatillo, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah. Oh, and here's my I need to do some pruning here. You guys see all this black leaves? That's not good. Let's cut some of these off right now. But anyway, in here is you know, I wish I could tell you all the varieties of things I planted, but I'm just not that organized. And I'm not pruning this properly. I'll come back later. I plan on having like a garden evening tonight. But I believe these are San Marzano tomatoes. So, yeah. Anyway, they're still fruiting. They have lots of flowers, and the flowers are definitely turning into tomatoes. So, that's cool. Yeah. Look at my blackberries. They're looking pretty marvelous, aren't they? Still giving lots of flowers and lots of new growth, which makes me really happy. They've been through a lot, haven't we all? This is another blackberry plant in here getting swallowed by this. Maybe I should trim some of that off. We'll get there. If only I had like 6 days of like overcast weather to just spend out here. Guys, Romas are just so good to me. I had a lot of luck with Romas last year too. This is one plant that just kind of like fell, so I just staked it up. But yeah, isn't it beautiful? What a beautiful sight. So these will ripen someday. And this is another Roma plant that is just glorious, isn't it? To me it is. So some of these are starting to blush. Maybe I should go ahead and pick them. Maybe I'll wait till this evening when I come back out. But I don't know what kind of pepper plant this is, but it looks very small and teensy weensy. But this is a beautiful pink zinnia. Oh, I love it. You know, I'm really not like a pink type of girl. You know, some girls love pink. I don't hate pink or anything, but that's beautiful to me. These strawberries, bless their hearts, they're okay. The copper fungicide though, look, it like set on top of the leaves. So I sure hope I didn't hurt these, but I guess we'll see. Maybe I should come through with a water hose and like blast it off. Man, I really hope I didn't hurt. This is the first time I've had a chance to come out here and really look at them since I sprayed the fungicide. Dang. Well, we'll see. We'll see. That's all I can say about that, I guess. This is a... What the hell is that? Huh. I don't know what that is. But this is a honeydew melon, and this is a cantaloupe. So they look pretty healthy, but it might be getting a little hot for them. I direct sowed those. It's my chamomile, still looking all hairy. I still don't know how to prune that. I mean, thin it out. So volunteer tomatillo in the walkway. But did you guys see how I strung these up? Look, I'm not that chaotic after all. Really, it's because I couldn't walk through here. So, and I don't know what this flower is called, but I'm sure you guys do. It was in a wildflower mix that I planted last year that got tilled around, and it's here now. I think it's pretty beautiful. There's another one over there. So, I've got lots of bees, so they must like it. Yeah, there's a lot of sirens. I hope everyone's okay. That's a comfrey root that I forgot I planted there. It was just like a piece of a root that I had, and I just stuck it in there. All the crabgrass growing in. Someday I'll have time to weed all of these things. When those days come, I will miss all the chaos of having little kids, won't I? I try to keep that in perspective. This is a cucumber vine. Looks like it needs a little something something, doesn't it? I'll have to give it some TLC. It probably wants these Everglades tomatoes to back off. Like, hey, personal space, bro. We'll work on that. But yeah, anyway, I have more bush beans I stuck in down here. Probably have a couple I could pick. That borage is finally blooming. Man, when they're in full bloom, they're just like the most unique flower. I just love them. Oh, here's another pink zinnia. All of the zinnias that are planted back here are volunteers. I didn't plant any zinnias back here. So they're just kind of a surprise. And you know, zinnias, I don't think they usually grow like true to seed whenever you save the seeds. So yeah. Anyways, that's a California Wonder Pepper. Well, all three of these are. But this one is just really doing its thing. That's a volunteer tomatillo, of course. Man, isn't that something? I don't know. I don't know why it just amazes me. Things just want to grow. That's a bush bean plant that's been tilled under and abused and whatever. I just keep leaving it there. See what it'll do. That's a volunteer tomatillo. I think over here doesn't get a lot of water from the sprinkler. I believe that's a tomatillo also. But I don't know why it's growing all low like that. Maybe it's a ground cherry. We'll find out. That's a volunteer zinnia there. Yeah. Man. Oop. That's a bush bean also. They're all different varieties, so that's why the plants kind of look different sometimes. These calendula are doing surprisingly well. This zinnia is in its awkward phase. That's always funny to me. But yeah, more beans over here to pick. But this is one of the Everglades tomatoes I moved over here. And this bed is like all compost pretty much. And I think there's some like Miracle-Gro dirt in here. Really, I don't care what kind of soil. If I have to buy soil, I just buy whatever's on sale. And it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. And it'll be what it will be. So I'm not legalistic on anything. I try not to use heavy pesticides, and that's about it. I try to love the bees and the earthworms just as much as I can. But that's as far as I go with that, I guess. These are some Stone Mountain melons that somebody sent me. I stuck them there, see what will happen. Hopefully I can get them to grow out. But all of these are California Wonder Peppers. I stuck some, you guys like my pointer? I stuck some sweet potatoes in there because I had some slips. This is a paprika pepper, and that's a nata pino, the same ones from up on the porch. So yes. All right. Man, I have so many Everglades tomatoes to pick, don't I? Let's go over here. Oh, this tomato. She's tired. She's ready to go to sleep. I feel you, tomato. I feel you. They're just kind of giving in because some of them are starting to ripen. And I've already picked, I don't know, I think I have like 7 or 8 in there. that have blushed and they're starting to ripen. And, well, like 2 or 3 of them are already ripe. I just haven't gotten a chance to eat them. Maybe today for lunch I will eat one so I can tell you how they taste. Because I'm really curious because they've done really well for me. But, yeah. Man, something keeps coming and taking the tomatoes, though. And there's like taking the tomato because it's gone. It's not here anymore. There's no remnants of it. So I should probably take all of these that are blushed in the house if I want them, huh? But yes, anyway, a lot of Everglades to pick over here. I might actually pull this plant out because it's just a lot over here. I need to plant some other things over here. Anyways, you guys know what all this is. These are the blueberries we don't talk about this year. I love the borage blooms. I just love it. I really do. It's like so ugly, it's pretty. And like the fluorescent blue flowers. My goodness. What a beautiful thing. And of course that calendula. It looks a little sickly. I have some other calendula that are blooming in the front, like different varieties of calendula. And they're very pretty. But, oh, excuse me. Anyway, all right. I suppose I should end this. It's been long enough. But I've gotten 12 or maybe 15 cucumbers off of this plant. There's a few more growing on it, and it still looks relatively healthy. It's getting kind of hot, so I wouldn't blame it if it gave up any day now. But towards the top of the vine, it's getting kind of yellow. So I probably need some fertilizer, or maybe just to go to sleep, you know. This plant here, I might let this might be the last cucumber it has, and I might just let it go to seed, see what happens. And then I think I'm going to plant that Tromboncino right here. So, yeah. Oh, this is a birdhouse gourd that I planted, and it is finally starting to take off. So I'm excited about that because I'd like to make some birdhouses out of some gourds. I think that sounds like fun, and I think my 4-year-old would really like that. Those of you that don't know me in person don't know, but my 4-year-old has autism, and he gets very fixated on things, of course, and it's just one of the great things about his little personality, and he loves birds. So that's why I've wanted this birdhouse gourd to grow so bad, because I think he would really love that. Oh, I didn't even tell you about my Seminole pumpkins, but they're taking off. Okay, I've showed you everything. I think that's it for today. And I need to go back inside. I'll have to come back and harvest all of these beautiful tomatoes later. Maybe I can talk my husband into doing it. Do you guys know what these bugs are? Because they're all over my sunflowers, and they were last year too. And I can't figure out exactly what they are or if they're harmful. But they hide from you, see? Once they realize you're there, they go to the other side. Anyway, okay. Till next time, my friends. Hope you guys have a beautiful weekend, what's left of it, and you guys take care. Bye-bye.